The Redskins are a game behind. If they beat the Giants today, they know that they're tied. Now, if they lose to the Giants, they go 2 games behind, but that's really like 3 games behind with the tiebreaker. So they feel that this is their game. Even though it's the 6th week, this is as big as it can get. I was talking to Darrell Green in the parking lot before the game, and he said games can't get any bigger than this.
And that's so very true. Bill Parcells is very much aware of that as well. He says we can't throw the ball 40 times a game and win. We have to run. Do you think they can?
Well, again, that's the thing with the Giants. I always feel that Phil Simms is a fine quarterback, but he's a better quarterback when he has a running game. And I think the Giants are going to try. They're going to try to run. They're going to try to run to their left side. It's not only going to be O.J. Anderson. They're going to use 2 other rookies, Dave Meggett and Tillman. So I think that they're going to try and run. I think they're going to try and run to the left side. And I think that they're going to try and get that done early.
Well, the Giants will have a crack on offense first because they won the toss. They'll receive. Meggett and Ingram back deep for the Giants, and Chip Lohmiller will get it underway as he'll kick off for the Redskins. High, sort of short. Meggett at the 8. And out of the pack. Outside the 30. Phil Simms will open at quarterback as usual for the Giants. His offensive line, Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Eric Moore, Riesenberg, and Mark Bavaro, the tight end. Otis Anderson and Maurice Carthon will open at the 2 running back spots. Odessa Turner, Lionel Manuel wide. And as they go 4 wides, it'll be Ingram and Baker. Meggett split wide to the right. Handoff is to Anderson. Straight up the middle where they had some success in their first meeting. Raven Caldwell made the stop. Here's the Redskin defense. 4-man front. That includes Mann and Manley at the ends and Marcus Cook and Darrell Grant in the middle. Caldwell, Minuski, and Wilbur Marshall. The linebackers. Davis and Green the corners. Todd Bowles starting. There was some doubt about that with Alvin Walton, the safeties. 2nd and 7. Anderson left side and yardage and more to the 45. First down Giants. A pickup of 11. Clarence Vaughn made the stop.
That's where the Giants think that they can get the running today, Pat, is on that left side, because they think with Big John Elliott there against Dexter Manley that they have the advantage. Then they want to put a tight end on his side and cover Wilbur Marshall. And they think that's their best matchup for the run.
1st and 10 at the 45. Anderson and Carthon behind Simms. Maurice Carthon gets a rare carry and doesn't get much. No gain. Brian Davis made the tackle. In the last meeting, that's where the Giants went.
Well, you can see that they gained 61 yards to the left, 45 up the middle, and 53 to the right. But this game, I think that they're going to stay more left.
2nd and 10. Baker wide right, Manuel wide left, and Simms will throw it. Baker wide open in front of Davis. First down at the Redskin 37. Todd Bowles and Davis stopped it. 15-yard pickup.
That's the other thing they're going to work on. They're going to work on Brian Davis. Brian Davis has really been snake bit lately. And I'll tell you, a corner has to have confidence. He's trying, number 34, but you get beat a couple times, the next game you come back, you're just given too much cushion.
And more, when they throw at you and have success, that gets around. And they keep trying. Here's Anderson. No gain. Maybe a yard. Minuski, the new middle linebacker, made the stop. Someone said we called him Minuski a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, and you asked him yesterday, when did he change his name to Minuski? They said as soon as he started to play.
Joe Gibbs said until he started to play, he wasn't Minuski or Minuski. He was just, hey, you. When you're a special teams guy, that's what you are to the head coach.
A 3 tight end setup for the Giants. They used it last week against the Eagles. Manley on Sims. He got inside Jumbo Elliott.
That's what you don't want to do early. If you give Dexter Manley a move and a sack early, I'll tell you, he is going to come tough all day. Watch him against Elliott. See, Elliott opens that right foot. And when you open that right foot, that gives the inside lane to the rusher.
That gap becomes larger between the tackle and the guard. And a guy like Manley, who's that quick, knows how to take advantage of it.
And he did take advantage. He took advantage of Elliott's technique as much as anything.
Sims has him spread. He has Meggett back there with him. And he's looking for him. Inside the 35 to about the 34. Pickup of 12. That won't be enough for a first down. Alvin Walton made the stop with an assist from Wilbur Marshall.
This is an interesting decision here. It looks like Bill Parcells said, even though it's 4th down, go for it.
And it's not 4th and short. It's 4th and 7.
Well, it would be a 51-yard field goal. If they don't get it, I think he's feeling right here that the Redskins still don't have good field position.
Well, if they didn't hit the field goal, they'd bring it back here anyway, so why not? Sims back to throw it. Up the pipe and complete to Mark Ingram. And he really threw a fastball in.
That was a heck of a call, a heck of a throw by Phil Sims. He stepped right up into that one. Watch him here. He's in the shotgun. He's going to throw it right in the middle. Good pass protection so he can step up. See him take that step and boom, he zipped that thing in there.
That makes the Giants 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, and that one took some courage.
They're probably better at 4th and long than they are 4th and short.
Stacy Robinson just signed this week, or re-signed this week. Here's Anderson. Robinson was split wide to the left. Darryl Grant brought down Otis Anderson.
Hey, the guy who made that play was Dexter Manley. Big Jumbo Elliott has to get him knocked off the line. See, now right here, he's going to be right here. Now, if he doesn't knock him off the line, then they don't get anything. But watch 72. He comes in. You see, they even have him double team. But look what he does right there. He knocks Elliott right back into O.J. Anderson. That was the play that stopped him.
3 out of 3. And off Anderson. Close to the 15, about the 16. Charles Mann made the stop. A gain of 6, however.
I think this is the type of drive that Phil Sims and Bill Parcells, Ron Earhart, this is the type you look for. You're bringing players in and out. You're running. You're passing. You're going left. You're going right. They have great mixture on this drive.
3rd and 5, and they have had great success in the first game, in the games of this year in the first quarter.
You know, the Giants have a pass pattern here that they just call Get Open Dave for Dave Meggett.
Meggett stays to block. Sims doesn't have any time as the Redskins come on a blitz led by Todd Bowles.
That's the way that Dave Meggett can't get out, and I think that's the thing that Bill Parcells is worrying about. Meggett is the only guy in the backfield. Now, when he's in there, they're going to rush him and make him block. He got his man. Bart Oates, the center, didn't get out and get his.
That was safe high. And Oates just couldn't get there, as you said.
I think anytime you get inside the 20 on 3rd down, Richie Pettibone, the defensive coordinator, is going to blitz you.
33-yard attempt from Allegre. Like a shot, and good. And so the Giants lead 3-0 after taking the opening kickoff. 8:10 left in the first quarter. The Giants lead 3-0 on a 33-yard field goal by Allegre. 12 plays, 52 yards, 650. This was the key play. 4th and 7, and they went for it. And Sims really drilled it. Enough for the first down, and then Allegre, who's about to kick off, hit the field goal. So it's 3-0. Giants, first quarter. Joe Howard back deep with A.J. Johnson for the Redskins. Allegre set to kick it off. Johnson at the 5, maybe 6. With room from behind at the 25 by Renee Thompson, who's done a great job on special teams. Mark Rippon opens at quarterback for the Redskins. And he has that huge offensive line in front of him. Lachey, Grimm, Bostic, May, and Jacoby, and Don Warren. Behind him, Gerald Riggs and Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, and Gary Clark. Except it's Ernest Biner opening at the H-back spot this time. Riggs the lone setback. They take counter tray, Rippon fumbles, and the Redskins' Mark May gets it back. John Washington didn't bite. Washington, Howard, and Leonard Marshall up front. Banks, Reasons, Cooks, and Lawrence Taylor, the linebackers. Redskins with a big loss. 2nd and 21. We'll check the secondary in a moment. 2nd and 21 for Rippon. The Redskins back at their own 14-yard line. Rippon started scramble, gets it out to Sanders, who always seems to give the Giants fits. Perry Williams on the stop. One member of that secondary. Mark Collins, the other cornerback. Kennard and Guyton, who's really coming on, is the other safety man. Renee Thompson and Sheldon White come in when they go with 6 defensive backs. 3rd and 6. A stack on the right side this time. That's Biner in motion. The 3 wide receivers all together on the right as Rippon felt some pressure. Threw it to Gary Clark. Over his head, he couldn't hang on.
Yeah, here's what the Redskins do. If we look at it here, they got the 3 wide receivers there in a bunch. Now what happens is they're all going to break out of that thing. You see, they got motion now. Now those 3 stay there, and they just break out. One goes out, one comes out medium, and one goes out deep.
Moshenko will kick. He hurt his ankle in practice on Thursday and said he couldn't extend his leg, but he did. Chases make it all the way back inside the 10. He is tripped up at about the 22. He said he couldn't extend his leg, so everything would be a little bit higher than normal. But that punt went 61 yards. That won't hurt your average too much. 6:11 left in the first quarter. This is without doubt one of the best football stadiums in the country, as seen from the Fuji blimp, piloted today by Mary Sink from Roanoke, Virginia. And that's a good look at how good it looks.
Johnny Cooks, the linebacker for the Giants, calls this play in inside the blue walls.
Sims goes back to throw it. Chased by Mann. And finally gets it upfield, picked off by Alvin Walton. Walton, flag on the play. A fumble after he hit the ground. The Giants say they have it back. Penalty on the play, an interception and everything. They're signaling both ways. Bob McElwee is the referee. Eric Moore got it back for the Giants after Walton fumbled.
Well, that thing had everything. Charles Mann beat Doug Riesenberg initially to flush Sims out. He flushed him out, then he was throwing to Maurice Carthon.
Illegal block in the back on number 34 on the return. That penalty will be declined. First down.
That's going to take some time to analyze, John.
Well, it had everything. Watch Charles Mann. He's going to come in, number 71, from the left of the screen. He flushes Sims out. Sims is going out. He looks downfield for Maurice Carthon, number 44. Alvin Walton picks it off. Then he runs it back. Then he fumbles it. And in the process of running it back, the Redskins also had a penalty.
And the Giants recovered it. Anderson picked up a yard. Stopped by Darrell Grant.
That's a way to get a first down. I know one of the things that Bill Parcells was worried about, he said one of the biggest matchups we have, the most important thing we have to do offensively, is Doug Riesenberg blocking Charles Mann.
Well, Joe Gibbs made an interesting observation last night, I thought. He said that in my opinion, the three best defensive players in the league are all in the NFC East. Lawrence Taylor, Charles Mann, and Reggie White. Sims back in the pocket. Short drop to Bavaro. Tried to lunge for a first down, about a yard or two short. Alvin Walton tripped him up.
As you were saying, Joe Gibbs says there's only two guys that you play against you have to make a game plan for, and one of them is every time you play Lawrence Taylor, and the other one is Reggie White. And then he thinks his own guy, Charles Mann, I think teams have to do that. Now, number 71 there, Mann, will line up in matchups. He'll line up over the right tackle most of the time. Then he'll line up over the guard, and sometimes he'll also line up over the center.
First down, and Moore moves the Giants into Redskin territory after a pickup of 7.
One thing Otis Anderson can do is make cuts in the hole. And I tell you, he did that. That was a great example of that. Watch him. He's going to get the ball into the line. He's following his fullback. Now he gets the ball into the hole, then makes this cut there. That little cut, boom, that little bounce out. Then he was able to find the crease and get the first down.
The Redskin 49. Sims to throw it on first. Odessa Turner, yes. Now they say no, he was out of bounds. Brian Davis.
We'll see it here again. He has to have the ball come down with both feet inbounds. Now the thing is, he was knocked out of bounds. I think that's something they can review, because it's not that his feet are out of bounds. His feet would have been inbounds, but he was hit by the defender and knocked out of bounds. So that could be one that they would look at. I guess they've already looked and thought that he wasn't knocked out of bounds by, well, they just saw it.
Now they're going to stop it and review it.
Yeah, that's the rule. If the guy is up in the air and he gets hit and is knocked out of bounds, then that's as good as having both feet inbound. You see, he's up in the air now. Now, as he's in the air, before he comes down, he gets hit, and that shoulder knocks his right foot out of bounds.
And he got his left foot in bounds. The Giants were out ready to run another play. Let's see what Bob McElwee has to say.
After further review, the play stands. Second down.
Second down.
I guess they didn't agree with that.
George Adams split wide to the left this time. Sims back to throw. The Redskins split quickly. And Sims just had to get rid of it. They didn't pick it up, and he wisely unloaded.
You know, it was interesting talking to Phil Sims yesterday about unloading. He says what happened to him in Philadelphia is he started getting rushed early. Then he made everything quicker. He said he was reading quicker, throwing quicker, and it got him off balance. He said today, if I get rushed early, I can't let that change my game and my thinking.
Third down and 10. Baggett back with Sims. He has to stay and block. Flag on the play. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Ingram. Flag was early.
The flag was not in the area of pass interference, so it won't be an automatic first down. And since it's 3rd and 10, it looks like it's one of those offside penalties that would still bring
Offside,
up 4th down.
Number 47.
When is the
defense,
last time?
5-yard penalty.
That's A.J.
3rd
Johnson.
down.
When is the last time you've seen a cornerback offside?
When he gets up in tight coverage and gets too tight. You know, they always say a guy covers like a blanket. Well, when you start before the ball snapped, if you're a blanket, then you're offside.
Odessa Turner split wide left with A.J. Johnson in front of him again. Here's Sims. 3rd and 5, wide open is Meggett. Meggett inside the 30 to about the 27 before Alvin Walton gets him down. A pickup of 17. He is turning into a real weapon.
And, you know, that's the name of the pattern. And what Sims watches them all the way. It's just get open Dave. And he can run anywhere he wants to. And I'll tell you, he has an excellent feel for a rookie. He has an excellent feel for anyone, Dave Meggett. But this guy is really an added dimension to this Giant team.
There are some players who just have a knack and know how to get open, and he's one of them.
I think a lot of it comes from being a kick returner, too, those same instincts.
This is Lewis Tillman. Another rookie running back, stopped by Wilbur Marshall. You're going to see a lot more of him, too.
Bill Parcells calls him a slasher. A guy who's trying to get more into the game, and I think with a guy like O.J. Anderson, I think you need more than one. So I think Lewis Tillman is going to be a guy you're going to see him run more, and then I also think you're going to see Dave Meggett run more.
Look at this time of possession here in the first quarter with just over 2 minutes left. 2nd and 5. Flag on the play back in the area where it could be holding as Anderson lunges with his second effort and came close to getting a first down. In the grasp of Clarence Vaughn.
I'll tell you, John Elliott grabbed Dexter Manley, and that's where you're going to see it. John Elliott is 76, the left tackle here. Now watch Manley go to the inside. Now watch Elliott. He's going to grab him, not only grab him, he's going to take him down. Now that is a legitimate hold.
There can't be too much doubt about that one. That's the same way he beat him on the first sack, the other sack.
I know it, and he's getting beat by technique. If you're a left tackle, you can't put your right foot back because that just opens
76.
the alley.
Offense. 10 yards, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down and 15. Line of scrimmage, the Redskin 33 as the Giants have controlled the first quarter. Inside Elliott again for his 2nd sack.
Dexter Manley gets him early. It's going to be a long day for you. That time he's going to go inside of Elliott and Roberts. It looks like Elliott was expecting help from Roberts. But that's the same thing. That right foot goes back. Boom, you open up that alley. And Dexter's been around long enough to know anytime you give me that, I'll take it all day.
So it brings up a 3rd and 23 situation. Redskin 40 is the line of scrimmage. Look at the total number of plays here in the first quarter. Ingram in motion. This time they pick up the blitz. It's intended for Mowat, and this time there are no penalty markers. It'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see Landeta. Barry Wilburn was the cover man that time on Mowat.
You see those shoes Landetta's wearing? Those are the ugliest looking shoes I've ever seen on a punter.
Well, they're not even a pair.
No, they're not even football shoes, are they?
I don't think so. Soccer shoes. Walking shoes.
Where'd the guy get those shoes?
The guy gets Gets off a good kick, I know that. Into the end zone, and the Redskins will operate from their own 20 after a 40-yard punt by Sean Landeta. A minute and 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 3-0 Giants. We're at Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Redskins and the Giants. Pat Summerall with John Madden. And the Giants leading 3-0 first quarter, and they have control of the ball. That's Biner on the move as the handoff is to Riggs. Pickup of perhaps 4 yards, stopped by Gary Reasons.
Say, that Ernest Biner is a tough guy. Did you see him on that play? He was the H-back. He came in motion, then came back and had to go in there and wham on the nose tackle. That'll get that shoulder where you're coming like this. Watch his block. He's going to be 21. See him coming in there? Boom! You have to go in there and hit that nose tackle. It just gave just enough crease to get through.
Rippon wants Sanders on the other side. He gives again to Riggs. Riggs bounced for a first down, but I think when he first hit it, he was about a yard short.
You know, it's funny with this ball control and all the plays the Giants have had. That's a Redskins game. That's the type of game that the Redskins last night were hoping that they would have thus far.
They have had the ball very few times in the first quarter. Now, less than 10 seconds now. Interesting note, Herschel Walker, involved in that monster trade earlier this week, returned the opening kickoff 51 yards in his first run as a Viking. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Giants 3, the Redskins nothing. Looking down again at Giant Stadium as we start the second quarter of the 116th meeting between the Redskins and the Giants, a series that began back in 1932. It's always been bitter, and it still is. Riggs stopped by Banks. For an NFL update, let's send you to New York studios and Brent Musburger.
All right, Pat. Well, here is Herschel Walker with the kickoff return for the Minnesota Vikings. The first time he touched the ball. Keep in mind, he never returned a kickoff for the Dallas Cowboys. 51 yards, but it was called back. And the Packers lead 7-zip. Back to Pat.
Pretty auspicious beginning for Herschel Walker. He's going to be comfortable for a while. Riggs again, straight ahead on second down. Carl Banks again on the stop. Riggs got 3.
You know, the interesting defense, Pat, that the Giants are in now. Carl Banks just made the last 2 tackles, but he did it as an inside linebacker. And those 2 inside linebackers are Banks and Taylor, 58 and 56. So this is a new defense that the Giants are using.
And the Redskins probably have never seen before. Now they're back normal, except the safety man is up looking in the middle. Rippon couldn't make enough adjustments quickly enough. And the flags go up.
68, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Tell you, the Giants are moving around a lot. Look, they have the safeties coming in and out. This is Pepper Johnson over here. You see Taylor goes to the inside. Pepper Johnson is coming from the outside. The guy who jumped was Russ Grimm, who had to get outside to block Pepper Johnson.
3rd and 12. And again, they go with just 2 defensive linemen, as you were pointing out. An extra linebacker. The extra one in this case is Pepper Johnson.
And Pepper Johnson and Lawrence Taylor on the same side.
Rippon back to throw it. Up the middle of Clark. Good enough for a Redskin first down. Kennard and Williams quiet the crowd as they stop Clark.
Well, Gary Clark is the type of guy that always seems to get open against the Giants, and he's also the type of guy that will quiet a lot of crowds. I think that this guy really, I mean, I love the way this guy plays. I think he's kind of a wide receiver or a nose tackle in the body of a wide receiver.
Just a tough guy.
Yeah, that would really be, should be in the pit somewhere.
Fake to Riggs, ripping back to throw it. A wobbler to the grass. Or to the turf.
I think Rippon is yelling at Ernest Biner that he was coming on a cross. In fact, he's still talking to Biner. I think he was telling, he started on a cross, and I think he was telling him, you should keep going across. Because he threw that ball out there. You said there was no one out there except artificial turf, but Rippon looked like he expected Biner to be out there.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 45. Rippon back to attempt to throw it again. Gets it outside on a screen to Riggs. Riggs hammers into Giant country. Stopped by Johnny Cooks.
There is a big halfback. When you look at Gerald Riggs and think you have to bring him down, you know, you expect to see fullbacks that size. But Riggs has the speed of a halfback and the size of a fullback. Look at him. He wears those pads. They go from his shoulders all the way down to his waist on the back. And that's what they try and do, is they try and turn and get you to hit that and knock you off with those things.
3rd and 1. Quick count. Redskin. Riggs will have the first down and more, but there's a flag on the play. Riggs inside the Giant 30, knocked down by Perry Williams. Penalty marker on the play, and it's going to be against the Redskins. Riggs got 20 yards.
Hey, one thing, Ricky Sanders was down there blocking and being aggressive, and it could be against him. But, you know, you hate to see that when a receiver gets called for a penalty, because so few of them in this league ever try and block.
Especially when you know bigger than Ricky Sanders. But all three of those guys, Monk, Clark, and Sanders, will block.
Holding, number 86, offense, 10 yards, 3rd down.
Well, the guy they catch is 86, Mike Tice, holding right here on Lawrence Taylor. Watch him, you see, he goes, I guess he has that left arm inside, and he's grabbing him there. And then they got him. That's the block that let Riggs get around the corner. Then he had another one from Ricky Sanders that got him the first down.
3rd and 11. Rippon to Clark again, and that's enough for the first down. He and Sanders were lined up in tandem on the right side. Terry Kennard made the stop, a pickup of 19.
Yeah, we see Gary Clark going inside so much of the time. He was telling us, remember, a couple of weeks ago down in New Orleans, he was saying that he doesn't like it any more than anyone else. He said, but when he came into this league, he knew that he was going to have to make it by going inside, by playing special teams, by blocking, by doing the tough things.
And he has done them. He's done them extremely well. That's that defense again when they had Banks and Taylor as the inside linebackers. Riggs over the right side for a gain of 5.
I think what's happening to Bill Parcells' defense is he's really running out of defensive linemen. And he has Leonard Marshall, and he has Eric Howard, but he doesn't feel that comfortable with John Washington. And I think he needs to get more help there, so the way to do it is with extra linebackers.
It brings up 2nd and 4. Eric Dorsey, of course, was the starter at left defensive end. He's out for the year. Rippon on a roll to buy some time if he can for Monk. Incomplete. Back there with him, Perry Williams. For another NFL update, let's go back to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat, if the kickoff return did not count because of a penalty, this one does. Herschel explodes for 47 yards. The Packers obviously are waiting for the other shoe to fall here. But a Tommy Kramer interception is costly. It is still 7-0 Packers. Back to Pat and John.
Herschel is running like he's happy. I haven't seen that kind of acceleration or burst in a long time.
How can you not get that? How can you get that much money and not be happy? It's a guy that doesn't have any money that's not happy.
Third down. Offsides. Flag on the play. Clark is open, incomplete.
False start before the snap. 79 offense. 5 yards, third down.
Yeah, that's Jim Lachey. You see, he's not down in a three-point stance. He's in a two-point stance, and he just made a little adjustment. See, he had Lawrence Taylor inside him, and he had Pepper Johnson outside. Now, when you have Lawrence Taylor up on, I think guys like Lawrence Taylor and Dexter Manley, when he starts going like he is today, those guys cause more penalties than anyone else. They cause that stuff to jump because you look at him, everyone knows who 56 is and where he is, and they don't want to get beaten on the snap.
Rypien backtracks. For Clark, incomplete. Two Giant defenders, Sheldon White and Terry Kennard, with Clark.
Those are two great plays by defensive backs here in the last couple of plays. Kennard on that one getting around knocking the ball, and on the one before in the end zone, Perry Williams with great coverage and knocking one away. Good coverage.
So the Redskins will have to punt. Moshenko standing just short of midfield and make it back at the 10. High hanger. Into the end zone and out. 36-yard punt. So with 9:49 left to play in the first half, the Giants still lead 3-0. Giant Stadium, where the Giants lead 3-0. Second meeting of the year between the Redskins and the Giants. The Giants won the opening game Monday night on a last play field goal by Allegre. And look how they've controlled this one. Three tight ends set up again. Pitches back to Anderson. Lewis Tillman, I'm sorry. 34 instead of 24. Minuski on the stop.
Now that's what you call power football on the corner. You said they had three tight ends lined up side by side. Then they pulled their right tackle. So they had four power guys to get out there. Now watch the block, and you have three on the end of the line, three guys. Now you pull your fourth guy. Boom, he kicks out there, and you really should get more yardage than that.
That was Riesenberg who got that block, that good one. And Tillman. It looked like something might open for a second, but then it closed quickly. Alvin Walton came up to make the stop.
It looked like something that may end when they hit Alvin Walton.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to pick on poor Alvin Walton, and to me, he's still one of the best safeties in the league. You know, they try and split him out. They try and work on him. They're going to get him. Buddy Ryan says he's not. I'll tell you, we talk about football players and defensive players. This guy brings a load when he comes to the ball.
Ingram was the motion man. Sim out of the pocket will get a first down. Darrell Green tripped him up.
This is what Phil Simms sees. You see the protection here. See, now he's looking downfield. Now he starts to move a little to his right. Then when he moves to his right, boom, there's a big hole, and he sees he can get a first down. First down at the 34.
Giants 3, Redskins nothing. It's Anderson now behind Sims. Quick pass intended for Mark Bavaro. He hadn't even turned around.
Sims, I think, threw that one a little quickly. He was telling us yesterday that anytime we move Bavaro, by moving him, putting him in motion as they did, he said, we're going to throw to him. Because what the Redskins are always trying to take away Bavaro, and the way they do it is by grabbing him, holding him, tackling him, everything. So the way to get away from that is put him in motion where they can't do it.
So on second down, they put Bavaro as the tight end on the left. 2nd and 10. Sims back to throw. Flag quickly. Intended for Odessa Turner. Brian Davis. No question about that call.
Where Brian Davis, he hasn't been getting there soon enough.
Number 34. First down.
He was laying off. They're telling him play aggressive. He plays aggressively and he gets there too soon. Watch him here. Here comes the ball. Brian Davis is there before the picture even gets to him. He was trying to get his hands off by the time the ball got there.
But he had his legs tangled.
Hey, this is a long 3 weeks for Brian Davis.
Washington has been penalized 5 times already. This is Lewis Tillman. Didn't quite make it back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, lost the yard. Stopped by number 58, Wilbur Marshall.
Well, what happened is Marshall got the penetration.
Anderson the lone setback. No blitz. Sims got it to Mowat. Stopped by Bonuski. A gain of 7. By the way, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll select players of the game from each team who will be candidates for the National Miller Lite Player of the Week honors. It'll be 3rd and 4 when the Giants break the huddle as Anderson leaves and Lewis Tillman stays as the running back. On 3rd down. Timeout, Redskins. The Giants had 3 tight ends in the game. The Redskins didn't like what they saw, so they take their first timeout. They have 2 left with 6:18 left in the first half. To summarize, the Giants have only 3 points off 28 offensive plays. Washington has had 5 penalties, and Dexter Manley has 2 quarterback sacks. Frankly, John, I thought we'd see a lot more points than this.
And we probably will in the second half. I think it's kind of a sparring match. I think the Giants are doing what they did last week. They are not taking advantage of opportunities. They've had the ball the whole first half, and they only have 3 points. And now, with a 3rd down here, I think this is a big play. I think the Giants, with as much as they've done, as they've dominated the game, I think they have to go in with a 10-point lead, or it's a moral victory for the Redskins.
Keep your eye on the Giant to the left of Phil Sims. That's Meggett out of the backfield. Well, never mind. Keep your eye on the Redskins. Raven Caldwell, Dexter Manley, and Charles Mann all met at the quarterback.
And I think Sims was keeping his eye on Meggett, and he had good coverage out there by Wilbur Marshall. So here's what happened. See, he's looking to his left, looking to his left. Caldwell becomes the first guy, and he couldn't get rid of the ball.
So Landeta will kick for the Giants. His 2nd of the day. Joe Howard back deep. Great kick by Landeta over the head of everything. Into the end zone. And wheels out. Hang time of 4-7, a 59-yard punt by Landeta. The Redskins will take over at their own 20. 5:47 left first half, 3-0 Giants. Around the corner. And Riggs brings some authority with him. 12-yard gain.
I'll tell you, once he gets around the corner and he can get his shoulder squared up the field, he can run as well as anyone. When you want to get Riggs is before he gets into square. But once he gets turned and squared, like I said, he's a halfback running in the body of a fullback.
Sanders split out wide to the left. Biner comes in that same direction. The handoff is to Riggs again. Out to about the 38, stopped by Johnny Cooks, a gain of 6.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Leonard Marshall yesterday. He said the thing that he can't do is let Lachey, the left tackle, cut him off on the run. Because what they did in the first game is they would just run inside of Leonard, and the tackle would cut him off, and he just cut him off on that last play. The thing he said, I can't let him do it. He just let him do it.
2nd and 4, Giants show blitz. Hand off to Riggs, who gets away from a blitzing Gary Reasons. Stopped by Guyton.
This time here, they're going to run at Leonard Marshall. So now he has to play outside. See, he has Reasons blitzing inside, so he has to play on that outside shoulder. See, he lets Lachey hook him. Now he finally gets rid of him at the end. And he throws him down like a sack. But the thing is, on those last 2 plays, he's had poor position. The first one, he should have been inside, and the second one, he should have been outside.
They looked like they were stuck together. All they needed was horns for that battle. First down. They come on another blitz. Out to Biner. 9-yard gain. Biner stopped by Mark Collins.
Ernest Biner does a lot of things for this team. He's a running back. He's an H-back. He's a 3rd down receiver. In fact, the Redskins have tests for their players, and Biner was telling us that he has to take 2 tests. He has to take the H-back test and the R-back test.
They're going to measure. He said a lot of people thought that he couldn't catch the ball when he was playing at Cleveland because he only caught 18 passes, I think he said, in his entire college career. But he said, my brother and I used to play.
Running back that can catch, block, and of course they can all run or they wouldn't be running back.
He adds an element, no question about that. 2nd and short. Riggs. Fake by Rippon, looking for a place to go, and goes to Biner. Biner inside the Giant 40. Stopped by Johnny Cooks. A gain of 10 yards and a Redskin first down.
That was great. That was great. Get the big one. But Collins down here had great coverage on Ricky Sanders. See him, watch him there, step and go. That's where he was trying to go, and that's why he couldn't.
This is Riggs. He hammers into the Giants secondary for another Washington first down. A gain of 11 before he's stopped by Collins.
And another great block by Ernest Biner. Again, it was that thing where he came in and slammed in on the nose tackle. Biner, number 21, the back, you'll watch him. He's going to come into the picture. Watch him right there. Doink! You see him block Howard, and that's the hole that Riggs ran through. That's a heck of a block for a back on a nose tackle.
Motion, and I'm sure it was Biner. They try to catch him on a quick count.
That is some collision.
It makes it 1st and 5 at the Giant 22. Monk and Sanders split wide to the right, Clark to the left. Here comes Sanders. Biner, this time was the running back. Pass is knocked away. Intended for Art Monk. Sheldon White batted it down, number 39. Redskins lucky that wasn't intercepted.
I don't think we've heard Lawrence Taylor's name this whole first half. They got him playing on the inside a lot and not rushing. And on passes, sometimes he gets in no man's land, as he did that last play.
2 minutes, 17 seconds left to play in the first half. The Giants leading 3-0, 2nd and 5. Threw it off balance, threw it while he was backing up. And it's over the head of Clark. Again,
Incoming.
for an NFL update, let's send you back to New York. And Brent Musburger.
Well, Pat, Herschel Walker helped set this up, but it was the other back, the big back, Rick Finney, in from the 8-yard line, and the Vikes now lead the Packers by 3. Back to Pat and John.
2:13 left at Giant Stadium. 3rd and 5 Redskins at the Giant 22. Feiner is now the running back. Now he's glad he took that test. Rippon trying to get away now from Marshall. Gets it out to his tight end, Johnny Warren, short of the first down. Carl Banks knocked him down after a pickup of 3. 3rd and short.
And the Redskins are going to go for the field goal here. There's no decision whether to go for it on 4th down or not.
It's also the 2-minute warning in the first half. The Redskins, when we come back, will try to tie it up with Chip Lohmiller. Back at Giant Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden. 2 minutes remain first half. Redskins, Chip Lohmiller, 10 from under 40 yards. This one's 37. Mosinko holding. Got it off in a hurry and got it through. So the score is 3-3 with 1:55 left to play in the first half. It's a good-looking drive by the Redskins, but they still settle for 3, and the same thing happened to the Giants. Not just this week, last week.
Well, you know what I've noticed, and both of the Giants and Eagles last week were a division rivalry game, and this week the Redskins, that because you know each other so well, you tend to become more conservative. And I think that both of these offenses have been conservative. Not that we're going out to go after them, not that we're going out to make big plays and big points. We're going out not to make mistakes.
Well, you know pretty much you're not going to surprise them. You're not going to see anything that you haven't seen before. There'll be rare occasions, but that's sort of why.
And I think that's exactly, and I think that same thing happens in Super Bowl. That the 2 weeks the teams know each other so well that instead of putting in more things, the longer you have, the more things you take out. And that's one of the things we're seeing today.
Lohmiller's kick is a good one. Meggett takes it 5 yards deep in the end zone, and Mark Ingram says keep it there. Don't bring it out.
I would think at this point, with the Giants being on the 20, that they are going to have a conservative approach here. Now, you can have a conservative approach, and if you get a first down or 2, then you can go after things more. But if not, you don't want the Redskins to get the ball back.
The Giants have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The Redskins have 2. Meggett stays in the backfield, and Sims goes back in a spread formation. Chased by Manley, tried to throw a screen pass to Meggett, but didn't have time to get anything on it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the Giants have never done. Yeah, they do it like once every 10 years or so on as a screen pass, and maybe with Meggett, they're going to go back to it. They used to throw a little to Galbraith once in a while. But you see Meggett, number 30, goes up, sneaks up into the line, and then he goes out there, and Manley was just in a position that Sims couldn't get the ball out there.
So it's 2nd and 10. Sims to Ingram. Emanuel, beg your pardon. Darrell Green was the defender. Lionel Manuel made the catch. They'll hurry.
That'll do it. I think, in that thing you're playing conservative. Then if you get the first down, then you hurry and go for something.
Outside, Bavaro. He dropped it. Incomplete. Darrell Green was the Redskin defensive back.
Navarro looked like he just got lazy on that one. It looked like he just quit holding on to the ball. Well, in fact, he's getting it stripped out of there. No, that was a heck of a play by Darrell Green. Darrell Green was on him, and he knocked that thing out of there.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Giants at their own 36. Odessa Turner split wide left. Sims again. Goes quickly to Meggett, and he dropped it. Kurt Govea was the nearest Redskin. Stops the clock with 1:21 left in the first half.
Doug Riesenberg's doing a pretty good job on Charles Mann here in the first half. He's getting a little help. What they do is they have the tight end chip him as he goes by. In other words, just give him enough of a bump that it's about a man and a half. It's not a double team. It's about 1.5 man on block.
We haven't mentioned Mann's name very much. I know that. Wilbur Marshall's in the middle of that Redskin defense showing blitz. So is Barry Wilburn up there. And now they take a timeout. What Sims saw, he wasn't fond of. So they now have 2 timeouts remaining. 3-3, second quarter. Highlights from around the league at halftime. 1:21. 3rd and 10 at the 36. Sims has to step up. Gets out of the pocket. Chased. Pass incomplete. Mark Ingram got a hand on it, or that would have been picked off.
I don't know if he was throwing it to Ingram or if he was throwing it to Meggett. I think he was throwing it to Meggett, and as you said, Ingram came across there and knocked it down.
Joe Howard and Darrell Green back to receive Landetta's punt. They don't do that too often, put Green back there, but if he handles it, he is dangerous. Another good kick by Landetta. Green fumbles it, picks it up on a good bounce. The NFL's fastest man.
I think it was the same thing. Just as Darrell Green was looking for a block, a big clip came. I tell you, that was scary for those Giant fans. Darrell Green's faster than half the cars in the parking lot at this
Illegal
place.
block in the back. Number 40 on the return. 10 yards. First down.
Alvin Walton.
Watch it right there. Boom. Had that been below the waist, it's a clip. If it's above the waist, it's illegally blocking behind the back. But he blocked the guy right into the tackle.
Zeke Mowatt.
You can tell it's a big game when the Washington Redskins play and Darrell Green is returning punts. That's a dead giveaway.
The last time I remember was in the championship game against the Bears at Soldier Field. And that's what beat the Bears. Finer now as the deep back. Rippin. Chased by Howard. Screen pass to Finer. One block. Greg Cox out in a hurry to take him out of bounds.
Greg Cox is a guy that when he zeroes in on you, I'll guarantee you he's going to get you. That's one thing this guy can do, is he can tackle. I think that was a good pickup when the Giants got Greg Cox. He's a heck of a special teams player. He played in the Super Bowl last year with the 49ers, and he is a certified tough guy.
They use him sort of as a defensive back, combination linebacker. And he can handle both. Handoff is to Finer. Hit by Pepper Johnson first and then Banks. 41 seconds remain. Giant timeout. A gain of only 2. .3-3 at the half. Giants Stadium as it's seen from the Fuji blimp overhead. One of the newest blimps in the air. Launched last May. A beautiful day. Don't forget at the half, the NFL today, Brent Nerve with scores and highlights from around the league. Leslie Visser has a special feature on the hibernating bear. Rippin to Finer. Biner. Close to first down yardage. Stop, tripped by Lawrence Taylor. Maybe 8. Timeout, Giants.
They had to give this Ernest Biner about 2 or 3 salaries, or at least 2 or 3 pregame meals. We've seen him catch passes. We've seen him have collisions with linebackers, with nose tackles. Now they're at the end of the half, and they're having him back there run the ball and give Riggs a break. That guy earns his meals.
He just earned the Redskins a first down with that last run. Bears have gone ahead of Houston.
He's starting to huff and puff in there a little too, isn't he? You know, some of those hits that you make, when you go in there and they call it wham on a nose tackle,
Right.
or you have to block a guy like Carl Banks, those will take a quarter out of you.
And for this time of year, it is unusually warm here in New Jersey. And down on the field, even warmer.
Man shouldn't have that much sweat in October.
That's right.
The first half.
Almost Halloween. Rypien looking to throw it to Biner. Couldn't find him. Giants are with him, and Rypien has to come out of the pocket. Stopped again by Greg Cox. A scramble of 7.
Well, Lawrence Taylor started on the blitz. He felt screen. He felt that Biner was trying to get out on the screen, so he just stayed with him. And Rypien was looking and looking, and he couldn't throw it, so he had to run it. That was a good play by Lawrence Taylor. Watch him. He'll come down here, 56. See him on the bottom there? Now watch him. He feels Biner's trying to get away there. So instead of keeping rushing the passer, he just turns and goes with Biner. See, and then he gets between the quarterback and the receiver. Looked like Jim Lachey, the big tackle, was trying to get down there, too. He wanted some of that receiving action.
That's not allowed.
The only time you throw it to a lineman is when you throw it and hit him in the back of the head.
20 seconds left to play in the first half. Washington 3, the Giants 3. 2nd and 3. 20 seconds. Field goal by Allegre and a field goal by Lohmiller. Rypien to throw it. To Ricky Sanders, who's been rather quiet today. Incomplete. He and Monk both have been pretty well shut down.
You know, a lot of the stars have been quiet. You talk about Sanders, you talk about Monk on defense. Lawrence Taylor hasn't made a tackle, hasn't had a sack. Maybe he's made a tackle. Charles Mann on the other side hasn't had a tackle or a sack or any action. I think they went into these games saying that we have to contain Taylor. I think the Redskin offense has done that. And we have to block Charles Mann. The Giant offense has done that.
Sanders has 1 catch. Monk, no catches. Clark, 2. 3rd and 3. 12 seconds left in the first half. This is Biner, who gets the first down. Mark Collins made the tackle, but that will be stopped with 5 seconds to go. The Redskins take a timeout. And they'll come over and talk with Joe Gibbs and decide what it is we want to do with our 5 seconds.
Well, I think if you take time out, then that means you want to do something big. Obviously, you made the decision. You're not just going to run it out. So as we look at that down there from the blimp, they're doing all that thinking. That's one of the deals where these guys will put 3 or 4 guys together and then run them down and sling that thing as far as you can and hope for a penalty.
That's about all they can do at this point. There's Doug Williams. Out, of course, with a bad back.
Well, he had back surgery, and he was saying last night that this past week he just started throwing again, and that he's feeling pretty good. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
5 seconds. There were the 3 wide receivers stacked up on the right side, and Rypien's going to throw it as far as he can throw it. Incomplete. That's it. That's the end of the half with the score. Washington 3 and the Giants 3.
Irv, we're supposed to get a war out of the Giants and the Skins. That's a flat baby so far.
Well,
huh?
3-3, yeah. You know, the Redskins wanted to get more out of Joe Riggs coming in this game. He's the big back who's going to take him to the Super Bowl. It hasn't happened.
They scheduled the two games too close together. You agree with that?
Well, probably, yeah, I think so.
Listen, look how hot it is down in Tampa, folks. Did you see that? The Skins and the Giants are lucky today that they're playing in nice temperature over there in the Meadowlands. And now, Green Bay and Minnesota. It is 10-7. The Vikings with the lead, and Don Mikowski is 2 of 11, but here is 1 of the 11. Great catch by Sterling Sharp, becoming one of the best in the NFL. Set up a scoring drive, and here he comes, Herschel Walker. Watch him run right out of his right shoe. And then the other shoe dropped on the Green Bay Packers when they went to Rick Finney, and he bolted up the middle for the touchdown. The Viking defense has played a big role in this. They have 3 sacks so far. Detroit and Tampa Bay, and you got an idea of just how hot it is down on the floor of the stadium at well over 110 degrees. I don't even know if I believe that after looking at it. All right, Ricky Reynolds will intercept this Rodney Peete pass, and he will score on a 68-yard return. 2 interceptions of Pete in this game. And what about this Tampa defense, Mr. Cross?
Much improved, Brent. You know, Perkins says, I have my kind of guys on it. They're a pretty hard-nosed team now.
You know, I think a lot of folks in New York might forget the fact that before Bill Parcells won a Super Bowl, Ray had something to do with the talent that came in and played for the Giants, all right? He's got a good talent eye. Chicago and Houston, the Bears at the half lead. Neil Anderson's 10th touchdown of the season. Miami and Cincinnati, yes, Boomer Esiason, a 38-yarder to Holman, the difference there. New England, Doug Flutie has gone 16 yards to Cedric Jones. And San Francisco and Dallas. Steve Walsh is 11 of 13, even though the Cowboys have only rushed for 8 yards. And, of course, for the Niners, it is Steve Young, who has replaced the injured Joe Montana. And he goes to Brent Jones for 36 yards for their touchdown. And now it is Walsher.
But Walsh comes back late in the half. Brent, has 26 seconds left to go, and hits Calvin Martin on a 30-yard touchdown pass. And the Cowboys are playing the 49ers head up.
And what about Montana? Will we see him in the second half?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did come in. I think they underestimated Dallas today. They felt they didn't need Montana to win this game. They'll probably put him in the second half.
All right. We'll continue after these messages from your local stations.
At the half at Giant Stadium, it's the Redskins 3 and the Giants 3. Pat Summerall here with John Madden again. John, I think you touched on something that probably explains why the score is so low, and that is the familiarity of these two teams with each other. Same division, play each other twice a year.
And I think so when that happens, you tend to become more conservative, especially early. And I think both of these teams played the first half not really to do a lot of things, not to make a lot of things happen, but don't make any mistakes. And they probably know in this series, in the Redskin-Giant game, in fact, I was just talking to Wellington Mara, the owner of the Giants outside, and he was saying this is just a typical Giant-Redskin game that you play the first half, but we know that it's going to come down to the second half.
Well, the amazing thing about the Redskins season so far, or one of the amazing things, I think, is the fact that 4 of their 5 games before this one have been decided on the last play of the game. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Just about set for the second half at Giant Stadium, the second meeting of the year between the Redskins and the Giants. The first game went to the Giants. For 11, of course, Phil Simms, 7 out of 17 in the first half for 91 yards. The other number 11, Mark Rippon, 8 out of 16 for 82 yards. 9 first downs in the first half for the Redskins, 8 for the Giants. Game dominated by defense, I suppose, and with a little dose of conservatism mixed in there.
You know, it's funny, it's a game that has been dominated by the defenses, but yet the 2 biggest defensive stars have been unheard of today. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was just about shut out for the first half as far as tackles and sacks, and Charles Mann of the Redskins was shut out in the first half.
Lawrence and Charles Mann, both with a little meditation perhaps about what went wrong, if anything did, in the first half, or if the other folks just did such a good job.
I think it's part of that, and I think part of it is design, especially in the Giants. They're putting Taylor in some coverage positions where he's doing more of dropping and covering than he is rushing. So he's been in no man's land in a lot of passing situations.
Legre will kick it off. Joe Howard and A.J. Johnson back deep. It's going to be A.J. Down the sideline, knocked out of bounds by Mark Ingram, but a good return of 36 yards.
You know, that was the thing that got the Eagles started last week against the Giants. Remember, the Giants had them pretty well under control, and boom, the Eagles come back with a big kickoff return and then a 40-yard run, and in 2 plays they go 90 yards down the field.
In the process, got their 3rd victory and the Giants' first loss. Ricky Sanders comes wide left. Riggs and Biner behind Rippon. Riggs picking a hole, or trying to, right side. Picked it well enough to get 4 yards before he stopped.
You know, the offensive line of the Redskins called the Hogs, and they have a club and shirts. They brought Donnie Warren, the tight end, into it. And I'd take that guy 21. Some of the things he's been doing today, I think he ought to be a Hog.
2nd and 6, I agree. Riggs left side, no room this time, and no gain this time. Maybe he leaned for a yard before he was cut off and cut down by Reasons and Banks.
I'll tell you what, Leonard Marshall did a heck of a job that time of positioning. And what he does is he's going to start here, hit into Lachey, work out here, so that Riggs has to cut the ball back. Now what happens, Riggs isn't a good runner when he doesn't have his shoulder square. Now watch Marshall work Lachey down there, get up around his neck, not let Riggs get out there, force him to cut back into that stuff.
3rd and 5. Clark is the motion man. Pass was deflected. He is trying to get it to Biner. I think Banks got in the way of that.
That was Carl Banks, and that was one of those things where he came up the middle. That's a new look for the Giants today, bringing Banks and Taylor up the middle.
The Redskins punter, Moshenko, line shot, chases Miggett back to the 3-yard line. He gets it back to about the 15. Lanuski led the coverage team. We were asking him last night if it bothered him to start at middle linebacker and also be on the special teams as well, and he said no.
Well, I think he's the type of guy that loves special teams, and he knows that's why he's on the team. And the thing he said all the week, I've been worried about Meggett. Said I worried about him on special teams, then I just started middle linebacker, and I'll worry about him running.
That's Anderson in motion, and Sims dumps it out to Maurice Carthon. Out of the backfield, he gets up to about the 30. Tripped by Raven Caldwell.
You know, it looks like that's, you know, you look when a team comes out at halftime and you try to figure out what they talked about, and that's probably one of the things that the Redskins have become tough to run on first down. So maybe loosen them up with a little first down passing. In fact, that was the first down pass completed today.
And it brings up a 2nd and 1 situation from the 25. Howard Cross was the move man, and Sims is going to go for a bunch. Incomplete for Mark Ingram. Darrell Green running with him, and he might have hurt himself.
Look like he was grabbing his knee. I bet that's a hamstring. I don't think it's a knee injury. I think it's the hamstring right at the bottom of the hamstring or the top of the knee. Watch him. It's going to be as he bursts right here at the end. Ingram has a step or two, but as we said, Darrell Green's the fastest man in the league. And look right when he extended there. And he either got a cramp in that left leg or a pull. And he pulled that thing so hard the jersey came right out of his pants.
He made a heck of a play.
And that's the thing, if you're Darrell Green or anyone else, you hope it's a cramp and not a pull.
He's obviously in pain. Third is short. Anderson knocked backwards. Alvin Walton and Monuski. Loss of a yard. There was nothing there. You can't blame the runner for that.
Well, no. I mean, this is one of the problems the Giants have. They just say they're just not good at short yardage and goal line. And it's not O.J. Anderson. That line, that left side, they got no movement there. But you have to get movement on short yardage and goal line.
Landetta's kick is a high, good one. Joe Howard fields it for the Redskins. 4-7 hang time. Greg Jackson down to make the stop. Darrell Green squirming in pain over on the Redskin bench. It's still 3-3. Face the top-ranked Irish. A CFA doubleheader next Saturday at noon Eastern Time here on CBS. First down, Redskins at their own 32. Game tied at 3. Griffin will try to throw it on first down. And does. Ricky Sanders, the intended receiver. Knocked a bruised knee and a turf burn as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Turf burns never kept a guy out of anything, I don't think.
Not this guy.
Then if you're a coach, you always say little in front of any injury. So it's a little bruised knee and a turf thing or a little turf thing.
Off play to Riggs. Banks read it perfectly. Loss of a yard.
That's who's playing better here today is Carl Banks. And you see here, he's playing here. Now, usually he plays out here at this position. They're bringing him back here where he can hit things like that. You see, they have he and Lawrence Taylor both playing inside. Taylor can attack it. Banks come off Jacoby's block. So I think it's helping him there, but I think it's hurting him a little on the pass rush from Taylor.
3rd and 11. Biner behind Rypien. Lawrence Taylor got away from one blocker. This is Biner. And he stays on his feet for a couple of extra yards before he's stopped again by Banks for a Redskin first down.
Well, Taylor goes over to the other side. Here's Lawrence Taylor here. Banks plays here. Now watch him get by, as you say, get by that first blocker. Usually they line up just the opposite. He ran right by Joe Jacoby, and if Biner had not bumped him, that would have been a sack for Taylor.
Not enough. 4th and short.
This is one I'll guarantee you, when you're playing conservative the whole first half, you're not going to go for a 4th and short at this position.
Moshienko in the kick. They really didn't think he was going to be able to perform today after he sprained his ankle. But he's done a good job. Make it back deep for the Giants. This one gets off the side of his foot. Redskins surround it, and finally it trickles out of bounds. 10 minutes, 21 seconds left to play. 35-yard punt by Moshienko, still 3-3. 3-3 with 10:21 left to play third quarter. Darrell Green back in the Redskin defensive scheme. He comes out to cover Lionel Manuel. Again on first down, Sims will throw if he has time. An overhand fall down, incompletion.
Hey, that was pressure from up the middle by Grant, and then the outside and up the middle. You see he's there. Now he steps up. Boom, there's Grant. Grant grabs that left leg, and Manley's coming over the top. It's tough to throw from that position.
Yeah, it is.
Like throwing out of a silo.
2nd and 10. Sims pitches back to Anderson. Nothing doing to the 20. Again, let's take you back to our New York studios and Brent Musburger.
Pat, this is how the San Francisco 49ers turned the game around against the Dallas Cowboys. They blocked a field goal with Steve Wallace. Johnny Jackson scooped it up and then went 62 yards for the touchdown. 14-7, 49ers leading by a touchdown. Walsh again trying to rally the Cowboys with the pass. Now let's go back to Pat.
3-3 here at Giant Stadium. It's third down. 3rd and 12 at the Giant 21. Ingram is the man in motion. Out of the pocket is Sims. Pass is complete to Ingram. That'll be enough for a first. A.J. Johnson brought him down.
Ingram's fired up, man. He says, let's go. Okay, get this thing started here. You're going to see something here you hardly ever see. Watch number 28 right there. Darrell Green was coming on a blitz. I have no idea why they would bring him. I think you'd want him down there covering a guy like Ingram. Then he gets back there. He was hustling, though. Little Darrell Green come running up in there where the action was, where those guards are.
Sims to Anderson. This time he has some running room. It was cut off quickly, however, by Brian Davis. Anderson nevertheless got 7.
Boy, and that knocked his chin strap right off. That was a good hit. Watch Davis come up. When you're going to take a guy like him, you want to take him on at the knees. Don't take him up where his power is in his shoulder. Brian Davis did exactly that.
Brings up 2nd and 3. Anderson. Inside the Redskin 40. Stopped finally by Raven Caldwell after a gain of 18.
Sometimes it takes a little time to get things started. This was one of their plans, to run at the left side. Get in behind 76, big Jumbo Elliott there. Let him turn Manley out and get some running room over there. They've gotten there twice in a row.
That looks like a pretty good design. Let's go again. This time, Minuski shuts things down. Anderson danced a little too long.
That's what they want to do, is stay behind number 76 there. Big Jumbo Elliott. He looks like he's been playing. You know, I've been watching this guy, Pat, for the All-Madden team, this Elliott. Then I watched him get dressed in the locker room yesterday. You know what I caught him doing? I caught him putting him on a pair of pink shorts. Hear me? Pink shorts? There's no way I can't have the guy.
Well, they were big shorts.
Yeah, they were big old baggy shorts, but they were pink.
Anderson cut down again by Davis.
Like a linebacker than a corner. You always think of those guys as cover guys. He's been in some of that hitting action on this drive.
It'll be 3rd and 5. They need to get to about the 27 for a first down. They go with 3 tight ends. Wilber Marshall hit Sims just as he let it go. Intended for Mowat. Incomplete. There's Medusky. Looked like he might have hurt his left arm on this.
I know. Watch him. Otis Anderson picks him up. Watch him. He comes straight up the middle. Watch Anderson take him on there. He got a little grab, and that was a takedown and a pin. That was what, if that were World Wrestling, they'd call that a body slam. Manuska body slam.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, by the runner, Otis Anderson.
Alegre from 49 yards. Hostetler holding. Plenty. And good. So 6:06 left in the third quarter. Nothing but field goals. The Giants have 2 of them. 6-3 now. The Giants lead on 2 field goals by Raul Alegre. The last one 49 yards. He's 2 for 2. 6 minutes 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Alegre set to kick it off. Howard and A.J. Johnson back deep for the Redskins. A.J. Johnson at about the 2. Tripped up. After a 16-yard return, there's the scoring drive. 9 plays, 45 yards. Alegre's 49-yard field goal got the points on the board. Here's the key play, though. On 3rd and 12, Sims, with protection this time, up into the pocket. Had to move a bit, but got the bad pass up to Ingram. And that got him a key first down and kept that drive going. Riggs is back in now on 1st and 10. Fake to Riggs. Out to Riggs. Taken down by Myron Guyton. A gain of 9. That's the Redskins' first down completion.
You look at that. They've tried 7 times. It's not as though they haven't been trying. I think that's a combination of them not being too good at it and the Giants playing very sound first down defense.
2nd and 1. Riggs will get the first down. Just barely. Again, for what's going on elsewhere, let's go back again to Brent Musburger.
Pat, the Dallas Cowboys have tied the world champions. 3rd and goal, and Darryl Clack, a little slant off the right side. First touchdown, first points the Cowboys have scored in the third quarter this year. Back to Pat and John.
6-3, the Giants. 1st and 10 Redskins at their own 34. Their own 29, I beg your pardon. Again on 1st down, Ripken gets it up to Clark. Clark. Knocked backwards by Mark Collins. 9-yard pickup again on 1st down.
You see Collins get up after that tackle. He looked like he had complete disdain for poor old Gary Clark. They get up and tackle him and say, ah, you're nothing. They say stuff like that. That's nothing. No big deal. What's the deal?
2nd and 1 again. Banks is in the middle, but this is Riggs. Picked the hole well that time. Gained 10. Pepper Johnson finally brought him down.
Hey, this is a defense again, Pat. We're going to see. Here's Taylor. Here's Banks. They're both penetrating. Taylor misses the tackle. This really isn't Lawrence Taylor's day. He's a better player than this. See him? He's going to bounce off there and right there just swing and miss that tackle. You don't see him doing that often.
He doesn't look comfortable in that middle. They're coming on a blitz. They get it to Clark. Hit down by Perry Williams. But again, on 1st down, a gain of 9. That's 3 in a row like that.
That's why you can't get too cocky against Gary Clark, because he isn't finished playing until that gun goes off. And he'll keep coming at you. I'll guarantee you that. They have a group, they call their wide receiver group posses. They have T-shirts and everything with their name, pictures, big old posse on it.
The rest of the group has been kind of quiet, other than Clark. Here's Riggs. Diggs for a first down. Collins again on the stop with an assist from Kennard. First down, Redskins.
And Leonard Marshall missed that tackle on the outside and let Riggs again get outside and get his shoulder square. That's a big thing. We talked about that earlier. If you can keep him going parallel, then you have a chance. When he goes perpendicular, it can be a long day.
First down. Sanders, wide left. Riggs. Around the corner again. And he hammered Terry Williams for another first down, Washington.
Ernest Biner shouldn't be able to block Lawrence Taylor like that. I don't care. I mean, Biner is doing a heck of a job, but watch him come here, right in the bottom, right here. You see him take on that block, make that movement, and then he gives him the corner here. See, he gives Riggs the corner there. I think Biner is a heck of a football player. As I said before, Taylor isn't having one of his days.
One assist and one tackle for Lawrence Taylor. Ripping back to throw it. Going deep for Ricky Sanders. What a diving catch. Spectacular catch. From Rippon, 29 yards out.
That's the kind that'll make all the highlight films. That's the catch. Rippon threw it out there. You talk about these receivers being tough guys. We said they'd block. We saw Ricky Sanders do that. We know they go inside. The other tough thing they do is this right here. Stretch out for the ball. That is one heck of a catch.
Notice how he turned his body in the air to land on his back so the turf wouldn't knock it loose. Low Miller's extra point is good. And so the Redskins have the lead for the first time today, 10-6. A minute and 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Following 60 minutes is Murder, She Wrote. And the CBS Sunday movie, The Big Easy, starring Dennis Quaid and Ellen Barkin. That's all tonight here on CBS. Right now on CBS, it's the Redskins and the Giants. The Skins lead by 3. Meggett at the goal line. To about the 22, knocked down by Kurt Gobert. This is the story of the Redskins scoring drive. 8 plays, 82 yards. Rippon, 29-yard pass to Sanders.
Here's the touchdown right here. Here's Sanders. Here's Guyton. He gets behind him, runs right by Kennard. He really has double coverage. This guy should make the play. He should be back there. So watch Sanders there in the middle. He gets beyond Guyton, gives him a move there. Now he has them split. Kennard doesn't get over, and Rippon makes a heck of a throw, and Sanders makes a great catch.
Rippon was 4 for 4 in that drive on first down, including the touchdown to Sanders. Sims on first down. Mowat couldn't get his hands up.
You know, I think Phil Simms hurt his hand last week, Pat, against Philadelphia. Remember that shot we had where he followed through and he jammed his hand in? I still think that hand's bothering him, because after he hurt that, he wasn't the same Phil Simms the second half of that game, and I don't think he has been here.
The ball, excuse me, John, the ball looks like it has sort of slipped out of his hand on 4 or 5 of the throws.
Yeah, I think that's something that bothered him and has been bothering him all week.
9 out of 23 is Simms. Outside Bavaro. About 5 or 6. Todd Bowles came over. Maybe not 5 or 6. Maybe more like 3 or 4.
This is where the Giants usually go to the 4 wide receiver down, and they've been doing very well with that.
One of those four that they usually use, though, I think is out. That would be Stephen Baker. He hurt his ankle in the first half, hasn't been back since then.
Of course, they signed Stacy Robinson this week when Odessa Turner injured his arch.
3rd and 6, and they're using Moat now as their 4th wide receiver. He's actually in the slot to the right. Here comes the Redskin blitz. Manuel. He had one man to get by. That was A.J. Johnson, who brought him down, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with the score of the Redskins 10, the Giants 6, and we now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Fuji Blimp, the Redskins and the Giants. Pat Summerall and John Madden. Redskins lead at 10-6 as we start the 4th quarter. Sims. Odessa Turner. Brian Davis brought him down.
Let's watch that 3rd down play here. There was a big completion. Watch Wilber Marshall come, and we're going to see Dave Meggett have to block. This is what, when a rookie starts doing well, you blitz and make him block. Now watch that contact there. Boom! He gets him here. The first thing that hits is the back of his head and right into Phil Simms. That was a heck of a pass by Simms standing in there.
2nd and 3. Anderson trying to jump outside and was stopped again by Wilber Marshall. Nothing there.
Wilber Marshall is making his presence felt here today. Orange Taylor looks like he has a headache today, but the other guy is really making his presence felt now. That was a big blitz. Of course, Simms completed it. Then a big play here.
For a loss of 4, bringing up 3rd and 7. The Redskins have their 6 nickel backs, 6 defensive backs. And Simms has to come out. And Simms scrambled close to a 1st down. Just depends on where they mark it.
As you say, which foot the guy put would be a big spot for the Giants or the Redskins. If it's a bad spot, it'll be an interesting decision.
It's going to be short of the 1st down. They'll bring up 4th and about 2 feet.
And this is not one of the strengths of the Giants. This is a gutsy call by Bill Parcells here. They've been having trouble with his short yardage and goal line all year.
They might take a shot deep here. Nope, they'll take a shot to Anderson. And he's close. Wilber Marshall again. Giants signaling 1st down. The Redskins say it goes the other way.
Well, again, that's where's that guy going to put that ball? And then they have to turn the ball, too. Sometimes they leave the ball sideways. You know, it could be the difference of that. If the ball, see, it's long ways now. Sometimes they spot it sideways.
That looks like it's going to be enough. Yeah.
That will let a head coach get some air back in him. See, you can see where the 1st down marker is. It's that orange thing right there. Otis Anderson just runs just enough with enough power and gets turned to pick it up.
No, it's 1st and 10 at the Redskin 41. Simms again on 1st down to throw it. Pass intended for Moat, incomplete. Simms again under heavy pressure, that time from Minuski.
Yeah, Minuski came right up the middle on him. And that's where Simms has been having the problem today. Look at Minuski saying, I almost had him. Almost had him. That'll bring a smile to a middle linebacker's face. I made him throw it when he didn't want to.
It'll make it 2nd and 10. Anderson again. And still on his feet is Otis. I don't know how he came out of the pack. 20 yards for Otis Anderson.
Good blocking initially by the right side of the line, the tight ends. They start out there, 2 tight ends, pull the tackle. It's that same power thing. Otis Anderson knocked down one of his own guys with that left shoulder, and that knocked the whole pile backward. And then he slipped out to the right side again.
Good block by Mowat. A good block by Riesenberg. 1st and 10 at the Redskin 21. Anderson out. Tillman is in. Tillman inside the 20, inside the 15.
Now this Giant offense is starting to get fired up. This crowd is starting to get fired up. Tillman is a rookie who Bill Parcells likes because he said he gets into the hole quickly and he's a slashing runner.
2nd and 2. He broke all of Walter Payton's records at Jackson State. He'll get a chance again.
I'll tell you, Bill Parcells, you see that headset he was wearing? It was sneaking up darn near over his forehead. That'll happen to you when it goes 4th down, man. That thing starts up straight up from your ears, and you go on 4th down, and it comes over. If you don't make it, it goes all the way down over your eyes sometimes.
Well, he stays in that forward tilt a lot anyway.
Yeah, he stays in what you call a hunker, too.
A foot on 3rd down.
I think, talking about Bill Parcells and Joe Gibbs, I think that these 2 guys are 2 of the best coaches in the National Football League. And when they go at it, you're not only seeing a very physical game, but you're seeing a real chess match.
Those are 2 guys who really live with the job. 3rd down and about a foot at the Redskin 11. Maurice Carthon in front of Anderson. Sims is going to put it up. Bavaro. Allegre will try the extra point. And it's 13-10 Giants. .15 left to play, and the Giants recapture the lead, 13-10. The Giants just scored their first offensive touchdown in 8 quarters. Allegre has 2 field goals, 2 for 2. Riggs has 83 yards for the Redskins. They changed their approach to things, not necessarily the plays, but at the half they started throwing on 1st down, and that's had a big effect.
And the other thing, I think on that last drive that Bill Parcells made 2 gutsy calls, Pat. One was to go for it on 4th down, and then the touchdown play, you get 3rd and short, and you go the play pass and hit the pass rather than trying to pound it in there.
Allegre's kick is going to be handled by Joe Howard. He's got some room. Out to the 35, maybe the 36. Myron Guyton. 12 plays, 77 yards. The Giants kept the ball 5 minutes. Here's the key play. This was on 4th and short. And Anderson just does get it. That led to the Giant touchdown. And they got the lead back. This is Riggs. Hit at the line of scrimmage, broke 1 tackle, and picked up 5. Megan after taking that hit from Wilber Marshall when he was blocking. As you said, the first thing that hit the turf was the back of his head.
You know, and that's what they're going to do to a rookie back. You get him in there, then you start putting him in on passing down and then running him out in the pass pattern. They start blitzing so that he has to stay in and block.
2nd and 5. Riggs again. This time hit after he struggled for a couple. Hit first by Pepper Johnson.
Yeah, you know, it was going to be this kind of game that it's going to go down to the reasons. They're not letting them play against air. They're keeping someone on them. They're putting someone in his face on every play.
3rd down and 2. Ripping to throw it. To Clark. Midfield. Fumble. He had the first down, but the Giants recovered it. Washington made the recovery, and he's going to keep the ball.
I would too. This is a big play for the defense. You know, they remembered what happened last week. They had a lead. They blew it against Philadelphia. Now when they can get something, watch Washington. He's running downfield. Big number 73. He sees that ball sitting there. He gets a big one. The guy who made the hit that caused it was Carl Banks.
That's the 2nd turnover for the Redskins. Everybody, every coach hates that word. To Anderson. Wilber Marshall stopped Anderson after he picked up 2 yards.
Well, I'll say this is going to be a very intense 9 minutes and 30 seconds because the Redskins, I really felt, came in today. And I think that they know that even though it's early in the season, it could very well be their season as far as winning this division.
They've already lost to the Giants once. They lost to the Eagles within the division as well. Here comes the blitz on Sims. Out intended for Odessa. Turner incomplete. Now again to Brent Musburger in New York.
All right, Pat, here's how San Francisco went ahead on the young fade to Jerry Rice for the touchdown. Cowboys have just missed a field goal, and the Niners have the ball coming out from the 20. Let's go back to Pat.
13-10, 3rd and 8 at Giant Stadium. Exactly 9 minutes remaining.
Hey, those 49ers seem to be the master of that. It's like they have to get behind so they can come back.
Third and 8 at the 47. Sims. Odessa Turner.
They're marking it. They're saying he was in, but did he have the first down?
I'm not sure about the first down. I do think he was in.
Well, the official was right there in the play. He said he was in, and I think he's going to be short of the first down. Both feet are in. You can see that orange thing right there. That's the marker, so that's how much short he is.
It's about 4th and a foot again.
And that puts that thing on that head coach where that red thing starts sliding down. This is a tough decision. I don't know. I would think if it were me, I would punt it.
8:54 left to play at Giants Stadium. Giants ahead of the Redskins by 3. 4th and about a foot and a half at the Redskin 40. Anderson has it.
Wilber Marshall was walking off saying, no, there's a Redskin first down. I don't know what he knows that the rest of the guys didn't know, but I think he's right. I think this is going to be a Redskin.
signals to the sideline for the ground crew. The chain gang, whatever you want to call them.
Sims is arguing, you're right, and Wilber Marshall walked off the field. If they know anything, that's... Boy, the difference in a game. You talk about a game being of inches or millimeters or centimeters or whatever you want to. It's where you spot that ball and to pull your chains out there. How they do that, I have no idea.
How they spot it?
Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, you can put a blimp up and show pictures of the guys down there, and we can't scientifically spot a ball.
In any case, it's first down, and Anderson goes to the right. Down to about the 33. Stopped by Mann and Walton.
I mean, we can put a blimp up here, have pictures, take pictures down there of those guys, and we still just spot a ball. Some guy comes in and says that's where it is. I tell you, I think that's how tight and close this division is, and how tight and close these teams are. That it's just going to boil down. That could very well be the game right there, the spot. And then, of course, it takes a coach with a lot of guts to go for it. I said before, I would have punted.
3 times he's done it.
Oh, yeah, a lot more than I would have had.
2nd and 4. Anderson again. He's got the first down. Mann made the tackle. Picked up 5.
I would think that you have to give a lot of credit again to Doug Riesenberg, who's been playing against Mann. And Mann's been out there most of the day, and this guy's had to block him. And I'll say he's had a little help. I mean, he's had some help from the backs. He's had a little help from his tight end. But all in all, Mann is one of the good players in this league, and I think Riesenberg has done a pretty good job of shutting him down. Excellent job of shutting him down.
Anderson gets a rest, and Tillman gets the carry. And a fumble. I think the Giants got it back. Riesenberg made the recovery. He was loose for a second.
This is what you always worry about down here, where you're trying to run out the clock and you have a rookie in there. And he's trying, he's going to fight, he's going to try and get those extra yards. But you just see that hat come in there, that helmet. Todd Bowles hit him right by the football. And there's Riesenberg, who I was just saying has had a great day of blocking Mann. He comes up with the fumble recovery.
Heck of a play right there by Riesenberg. The Redskins had a couple of shots at that ball. 2nd and 6 at the 24. Tillman again. Cut down right at the line of scrimmage by Alvin Walton.
Someone in one of the Washington papers called Riesenberg this week a no-name, no-neck.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the poor old guy's just a tackle. He doesn't bother anyone, doesn't say a word, and the guy writes that he's a no-name, no-neck.
3rd and 7 situation now. They lost a yard on the last play. Ingram on the move, and Sims goes deep down the middle to Odessa Turner, and he's got a touchdown. He flew right by Brian Davis.
Boy, Brian Davis has been in shock for a month.
Allegre trying to make it a 10-point Giant lead, and he does. Sims to Odessa Turner. 5:16 left, and the Giants lead it 20-10.
Sometimes you can just watch the effect of motion here, gate this guy and get him up reacting to this. And then once he does that, then that lets Odessa Turner do this with no help in the middle. Here's Brian Davis covering him. You see the effect the motion has on that safety. And of course, see, he gets him up. Now, right now, that puts Brian Davis man-to-man on Odessa Turner.
Allegre, a grounder. Fielded by Chris Mandeville, just activated today. Scoring drive, 9 plays, 49 yards they went. Finished off by a 25-yard touchdown pass to Odessa Turner from Phil Simms.
As of this morning, they didn't know if Odessa Turner could even play. Remember, we were out here yesterday. He didn't practice. He had a sprained arch that he hurt in practice Wednesday. Didn't do anything all week.
He's a guy who'd like to play against the Redskins every week. He had a big night, opening night. And another catch today. That's Art Monk. He's been quiet today. That's his first reception of the day. Mark Collins made the stop. Less than 5 minutes left.
There's a guy that's doing a good job, or did a good job. And in fact, after they watch the films, they'll start to realize, and everyone will congratulate him.
Rippon. Pump fake. Across the middle to Johnny Warren, who makes the catch, knocked down by Greg Cox. But a Redskin first down, a gain of 10. No huddle. 4.5 minutes left. 20-10 Giants. Draw play to Biner. Biner tripped up from behind by Terry Kennard, and if not for that, he would have had about 20 more yards at least.
Big tackle by Kennard. The Redskins, of course, are going no huddle because they're thinking 2 scores.
Rippon over the middle to Biner. Makes one man miss, makes another miss. Gets down inside the 25. A pickup of 16. Guyton brought him down, but he made 2 miss.
I know what everyone's thinking now, especially every Redskin fan. Why didn't the Redskins do this all game?
Flag on the play as Biner slams down to the 15. Greg Cox again on the tackle.
Lawrence Taylor didn't get back from the previous play.
56 defense. That kills the play. No play. 5 yards. 5 yards. No play.
The Redskins are trying to speed up. Lawrence Taylor was trying to slow him down. So he just comes walking back. You see him right here in the right part of the screen. He didn't get back before the ball was snapped.
Defense is offside. 5 yards. No play. Please add 4 seconds back to the clock.
Since there was no play, they add 4 seconds back to the clock. That'll make it 3:43, I believe, left.
I'll tell you, once you get a 10-point lead, your defense can get a little soft. This Giant defense has gotten way too soft.
They have the stacked group of the receivers on the left, Sanders and Clark.
One thing, they got them out here, these 3 guys here. Now, they're going to spread out off of that and just break off it. That won't bother the Giants as much as some teams because they just zone everything anyway.
They tried it a couple of times in the first half. Rippon looking and firing, intended for Monk, incomplete. And you're right, they didn't fool anybody. Lawrence Taylor was the defender.
Well, where that thing really fouls up teams is when they're trying to play man and then they have picks and all those movements. If you just play zone, you should have someone in every area anyway.
Brings up second. And 5. Second and 10 it is. Rippon. Come on. To the 5. It'll be first and goal from there. Pepper Johnson took him down. 13-yard pickup. And again, the Redskins play hurry up. Rippon. Monk, touchdown.
That was a great drive by the Redskins and by Rypien. Taking a quarterback, taking the ball down there like that. I know Bill Parcells is thinking his defense is a little soft. Maybe they were. But this guy did a heck of a job of driving the length of the field, using up little time on the clock, and using no huddle, having to audibilize everything.
Art Monk with 3 key catches in that drive. Lohmiller's extra point makes it 20-17 with 3:10 left to play. Both teams have all of their timeouts remaining.
Here's the touchdown again here. We'll see Rypien. He's looking to the left, looking to the left, looking to the left. Has nothing. Good protection, though. No pass rush. Now he's able to come back and find Sanders on the right-hand corner of the end zone. But watch his pass protection. This is what it is. Look at that. There's no, he can look, nothing, and then come back here and find Ricky Sanders Art Monk way over on the other side. I think that's as much the offensive line and the pass protection as it was Rypien and Art Monk.
No question about it. 20-17, 3:10 left to play. The scoring drive, and it was a dandy, as John Madden said. 7 plays, 64 yards. They kept it 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And then Rypien hit Monk with a touchdown.
And that was Sands huddle.
Meggett and Ingram back deep. The Giants suspecting maybe an onside kick, but there's too much time left. Going to be Meggett at the 5. He is hammered just outside the 20. Mandeville was the first man to hit him. Watch Manusky's coverage.
Well, I'll tell you, he's something. This guy is one of those overachievers. One of those tough guys. I mean, he'll run down, get knocked down, spin around. Look, I bet he still gets up. Look, he still gets up. Well, he's probably going to get knocked down and get some more hits. Go down again. There's still some action, man, for Manusky. He's going to get in something yet. When you run that far, you want to get in a hit.
Anderson is the lone setback. To the outside for a pickup of 6 or 7. Bowles finally stopped it.
I think when you talk about a running game and a need to run, this is the time you need it. When you have the lead and you're trying to run out the clock.
The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles Milton III. This game produced by Robert D. Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The executive producer of CBS Sports, Ted Shaker. 2nd and 3. Anderson again. No gain this time. Raven Caldwell dropped him for a loss of about a yard. Timeout Redskins.
Well, the Redskins want to take that timeout so that they'll get one more play before the 2-minute warning, which is an automatic timeout.
Minnesota comfortably beating Green Bay now. Big day for Herschel Walker. He's had 116 yards on 13 carries. Wait till he learns the offense.
Yeah.
Dallas or San Francisco by 10 over Dallas.
Like Dallas put a scare in him now.
Steve Young became the quarterback and threw the pass that got the 49ers ahead from the Fuji blimp. Piloted today by Mary Sink, co-piloted by Gary Fabian.
I wonder if you can jump out of a blimp.
I don't want to find out.
I mean, you parachute, like get some guys up over a stadium and just boom, just drop them right down into play.
2:09 left to play. Third down and 4. Sims is going to put it up. Pass is complete, and that'll be enough. On the catch by Mark Bavaro for a first down. Stopped by Walton. 2 minutes remain. And it's the Giants 20. The Redskins 17. Quaid and Ellen Barkin. That's all tonight on CBS. First down, Giants. Tight of them in motion is Cross. Handoff is to Anderson. Cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard. Timeout, Redskins. They have one left. Don't forget, next Saturday, college football doubleheader featuring 4 national powers. Volunteers of Tennessee against Alabama. That's game 1. They're both unbeaten. Game 2 has USC traveling to Notre Dame to face the top-ranked Irish. That's CFA doubleheader next Saturday. Begins at noon Eastern time here on CBS. 1:54 left. You said you thought Lawrence Taylor had a headache.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor just hasn't been himself today. He never got into the game, never got into the flow of the game. And, you know, for whatever reason, this just isn't the number 56 that we're used to watching.
In his defense, if he needs any, they had him playing in a rather strange position.
And he usually doesn't need any defense.
No. Here's Anderson again. To the 40. Stopped by Marcus Cook, and the Redskins burn their last timeout with 1:47 left.
You know, just watching Otis Anderson yesterday in practice a little and walking around the locker room, you just had the feeling that he was going to come back today and have a pretty good day. I think that last week, you know, he took a little heat for not having a good running game against the Eagles, but when you looked at the film of the tape, there were no holes there. And I think he's one of those guys that's been around for 11 years and knows that you're going to have some of those days, and you're going to have some days that are yours, and last week wasn't, but today's is.
24 carries he has, Anderson, for 95 yards.
You know, and I think every time he doesn't do something with that age, and you know, you're going to say, well, he's too old.
Right.
And then when he does do something, and, oh, isn't that amazing? And I think he's one of those guys that's been around for 11 years and knows that you're going to have some of those days, and you're going to have some days that are yours, and last week wasn't, but today's is.
24 carries he has, Anderson, for 95 yards.
You know, and I think every time he doesn't do something with that age, and you know, you're going to say, well, he's too old.
Right.
And then when he does do something, and, oh, isn't that amazing?
While we have a second, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited.
This is a big down, this third down, because if the Redskins can stop him here, they'll get a timeout, a time of possession. If the Giants can get a first down, that'll really end the game.
Crossing and moves. Anderson gets the carry and gets the first down.
Tell you, the crowd knew that one too. They know if we get the first down, we put the nail in it. Again, where did he run? He runs to the right side here, and here again behind Riesenberg. Good block in there on that side.
Eric Moore got a good block.
Eric Moore's done a good job today too, filling in for Damian Johnson.
That puts Anderson over 100 yards. Can't stop it. This will be 2 victories for the Giants this year over the Redskins for Bill Parcells.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll be the last. They beat them the last 6 games here in this stadium, not counting the strike game. These walls of blue have gotten the Redskins.
Sims will just let it run. He's the guy, really, that the Redskins fear more than any other Giant.
He makes it go.
To 17. Final score, Giants 20, Redskins 17. Ernest Biner from the Redskins and Coach Bill Parcells from the Giants have been chosen the Miller Lite players of the game. They qualify for the Player of the Week honors. A $1,000 donation will be made by the Miller Brewing Company on behalf of the players, and in this case the coach, to United Cerebral Palsy. Stay tuned for the NFL Today postgame. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.